Good morning, friends. We got a full day of eating, no frills, super basic AF keto. So here we are. We're still on a journey. We're still doing it. You guys seen my ketones were only at 0.3. And I'm going to tell you what, I knew that was going to happen because yesterday I was feeling a little bit hungry and I did it. You want to know what I did? I'm going to tell you what I did. I ate that damn cheese. That cheese, I had like 5 little cheese balls and some stuffed green olives and pickles. So I knew it was going to be low. I knew it. I foreseen it coming, but it is what it is. We're going to keep on keeping on. I'm still figuring things out, still tracking and seeing what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to do a little, I'm going to expose myself to you a little bit. I'm going to start tracking my macros today. Yeah, I just was laying in bed. I got up this morning at 5:30. I should probably turn around and talk to you guys so you see my face. But before we jump into that, let me tell you about this Bulletproof Coffee. All right, this is what I look like. I mean, did you guys expect a supermodel? I'm sure you didn't. But we're going to do our Bulletproof Coffee. I did tell you, I'm here, yes. We are going to start tracking our macros today. I was laying in bed. I got up today at 5:30. And I just kind of like laid in bed and like messed around on my phone and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I feel like my weight loss has really slowed and I really want to kind of speed it up and I want to track my macros, see how it goes. So you guys know I'm all about experimenting. So I went back on the initial Facebook group that I found when I started keto years ago, and it's called Keto Adaptation on Facebook. You have to like request, but they are very specific about their rules. So like don't go in there and like try to tell them what they're going to do because they'll kick you out. But I talked about these macros before, and these are the same macros that I'm going to use. So basically when you're deciding your macros, and I followed this group's advice, and I was successful on it, so I continue it on. And I spoke about it. You can always Google Daniela Diaries macros, but here it goes. So basically what you do is you take your weight, your ideal weight, like what, not your ideal body weight, what like the doctors say you should weigh, but like your goal weight. So for me, I put 170 pounds. You could always, once you start seeing the scale start to stall, you go ahead and you go back and you titrate. Okay, so that's a good 18 pounds, or this morning I was up. So when I was in my video the other day, I was 184.6. Today I woke up, I was 186. So it varies. The scale fluctuates. Not saying I gained 2 pounds in 24 hours. It's just the way it is. It fluctuates. So don't let that like kick you in the ass. But basically what their thought is you take your goal weight. For me right now is about 170 pounds, okay? Take your goal weight, and that is going to be your fat limit in grams, okay? Do not, if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat, 170 grams of fat. It's just, you have more flexibility with the fat. And then you're going to take that number and you're going to divide that number in half, and that is going to be your protein, and that'll be about 85 grams for myself. That is going to be a limit. Do not exceed the protein, okay? There is something called glucogenesis. I probably said that wrong. Basically, it says that if you eat an abundance of protein, if you eat too much protein, it will start to produce sugar. It will turn into like a sugar, and it will kind of mess with your glucose, okay? So that's why with like the keto diet is a high fat, moderate protein. So that's why the protein is so much lower than the fat, right? So we cut that in half, and then we have 20 carbs. This group recommends that you do total carbs until you are fat adapted, until you have really got your stuff under control. And I totally forgot that. They have like a whole questionnaire and like facts, answers, and questions that you can read, and it goes into it. And also they recommend the CRONOMETer. I haven't used that in a long time. I started messing with it this morning. It's going to be a a change. But so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're going to use that. So we got our coffee going. We're going to do our Bulletproof Coffee today. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of Kerrygo butter. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of the organic. I went with the Organic Valley heavy whipping cream just because I like it and it gives coffee a creamier taste. We're going to do 15 grams of the MCT oil. I tried this yesterday and I'm happy to report my stomach did not get angry at me. So far so good. I really wanted to try the octane. I was actually talking to somebody on here about that. And it's supposed to have like a really boosting your brain function. If you guys try that one and you really see a significance in it, let me know because I'll pick that up. And we're going to do a half a scoop of our tried and true perfect keto keto collagen cinnamon toast. Ooh. Yeah, so we're going to do that, half a scoop, and then I'm going to throw a couple of my whole earth sweetener packages in there. These are my favorites. These are a monk fruit stevia blend, and they do right by me with my glucose. I recommend these. I get a big box of these at Costco. And then I have the Starbucks K-Cup cinnamon dolce, which is me and Leo's favorite. So let me go ahead and whip my coffee up. And good thing is my glucose was significantly lower than we usually have since I've been waking up earlier and not testing right away. So we see what we're starting out as, and then we just kind of go from there. But I definitely knew last night when I went to bed, I was like, well, I probably shouldn't record tomorrow because they're going to see that crappy ketone number. But I was like, I'm not going to lie to them. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you what I do right and what I do wrong. Still happy to report I have not had any breads, wraps, treats, nothing. Still doing good. All right, I'm going to make my coffee. All right, my friends, here is my beautiful Bulletproof coffee. So this is about 330 calories. And I believe I gotta see what the total carbs are, because the carbs are only coming from my friend over here. So yeah, so 330 calories and 2 total carbs for our delicious Bulletproof coffee. As always, you guys already know, today is a good day to have a good day. Something wonderful is going to happen today. We're going to do something today that's going to make our tomorrow even better. We're going to kick butt. We're going to make all the best choices and do something that is going to make us remarkable. So, all right, my friends, enjoy this coffee and then we'll have a full day. Okay, my friends, look, these are all the seasonings I have out. I just actually had to go to Target and get a bunch of seasonings for the seasoning video. So that should be up. I'm hoping that'll be up on Friday. It was an investment, but I'm very happy. I have my whole little list here. I've been kind of putting everything together. So we should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 6 different seasonings to go with. But nonetheless, I had to go and pick up a couple things. So time for lunch. What time is it, guys?
Time for you to watch Boom Gavin Payload.
Okay, anyways. This is the cheese brick that you guys see me shred. I buy this a giant brick and I shred it myself. I've noticed I've been okay with this cheese. It's the stuff that comes already with I think, what is it called? Potato starch? I believe that's the potato starch that they put in to the already shredded stuff to keep it from sticking. So you can see this stuff kind of sticks together. So, and I also used I didn't even use the cheese grater. I used this guy. So that's why it's extra thin. Yeah, so we're going to have that. And we're going to do a tuna crisp. So I'm going to use some chicken of the sea, chunk light tuna and water. We're going to use one of those. We're going to use 15 grams of good old Hellmann's because that's what we'd be about. And I'm going to put in some of these jalapeno nachos slices. I'm going to weigh these out though because these do have some carbs in it. Just to be on the safe side, but my carbs are really low. I am going to share with you guys today my macros. It's going to be my first day counting macros. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm working on it. So nonetheless, first things first is I'm just going to assemble my tuna really quickly. Again, 15 grams. Be careful with mayonnaise. It will get away from you. I think it's 30 grams for these jalapeno slices and a whole can of tuna with some fresh black pepper. All right, so Now we're gonna make our cheese crisp. I would suggest being careful, making sure you are tracking if you were gonna start incorporating cheeses. I know some people prefer to stay away from dairy. It's really a personal preference. I'm just being mindful, making sure that I'm shredding it myself and trying to stay away from, you know, the pre-packed packages. And I'm weighing it out to make sure I'm not, you know, going heavy with it, because I tend to go heavy with cheeses, dressings, mayonnaises, mayonnaise. That was not correct. And just to be mindful of those things. So this is how you make it. You just get yourself a little frying pan. You don't have to spray it or anything like that. Put your cheese on the pan and you're just gonna let it cook. Don't mess with it. We'll come back and I'll show you, but you're gonna want it to melt completely and you're gonna wanna wait until the edges are crispy. You can use this you could also do like the folios, which is the same concept, and fry it up. I find this to be cheaper. I think folios are a great option, but I find this to be just a cheaper option. And use this in replace of a bread is basically what we're doing. You can do a cheese wrap I do them for like tuna melts. I wrap my sausages in them sometimes. You can throw them with like tacos and make hard shell tacos with them. The possibilities are completely endless. So you could see we're starting to crisp up here and bubble. We're gonna want all of that to get really crispy and bubbly, the whole thing. Okay, so you could see how it's nice and bubbly, but still over here, it's not completely done yet. I just kind of move my pan because sometimes the heat doesn't distribute evenly. But if you were to pull this right now, it would be a cheesy, gooey mess and you would hate everything about it. The trick is you gotta let it cook down until the edges become crispy. So you can see like these parts right here, they're starting to crisp up where you get that brown edge. That's what you want. So now that you could see that we have the browned golden edges, this is where I'm gonna add in my tuna mix. Okay? Because if it's still too damp, it will go right through. Like if it's not crisp enough, it will mash right through. Okay? Okay, and then I just kind of push it down. So, can you see, so? Yep. You guys can see how I'm able to kind of grab. I just kind of slide my spatula underneath, and then you fold. And then I press, and then we kind of let it sit and cook up a little bit. So here is that tuna melt. I hope you guys can hear that. It's nice and crispy. Okay, my friends, and here is our patty melt, or like our tuna melt. And you can see it has all the tuna in there. We got our crispy shell. So this is what's for lunch. It's gonna be super filling. And don't forget, at the end of the day, we will share our macros. I was laying in bed last night and I was thinking about what we were gonna have for dinner. And I was like, what am I gonna do? So I defrosted some chicken drumsticks. These are the Costco chicken drumsticks. And I was like, what could we do with them? We can wrap them in bacon. That's what we could do. And that won't suck, right? Right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take these out of the package. I'm gonna rinse them and dry them off. If you don't want to rinse them, I mean, some people don't rinse their chicken. I'm going to rinse these and dry them off. I prefer to dry them off because the seasoning sticks to them better. That's why I dry them. So I'm going to go through and do that first. I am keeping the skin on there for extra fat. If you want to remove the skin because it might be too much fat with the bacon, you can do that as well. I do have my oven preheating at 425 degrees, and we're going to cook these. We're going to bake these for probably, I don't know, what would I say? Probably 35-40 minutes. So, but you are going to want to temp them to 185. Okay? So first off, let's cut these open and rinse and pad them dry. All right, sorry that I'm still in my pajamas, but we have the contractors coming here tomorrow, so I'm like trying to get all the laundry done and get everything done around the house, so I won't have to go down into the basement and stuff like that. So yeah, today's an all day in your pajamas thing, but I mean, I know I'm not the only one who does this, okay? I'm not getting dressed up to clean my toilet. Let's be real. Like, people put makeup on to clean their toilet. It's wild. They wear jeans to clean their toilet. Crazy. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I am gonna season, our oven's ready, preheated at 425. I am gonna season our chicken with some black pepper, and we are gonna keep the skin on, okay? So what I'm gonna do actually is, not all of these chicken drumsticks will be wrapped in bacon. You know, I'm just probably gonna finish up this pack, but I'm gonna leave a couple on the side for Rhea because she can't have all this fat with the way she eats. But so we're just wrapping it literally, and then I'm gonna sprinkle, I'm gonna crack some black pepper over the top. So I don't know how this is gonna taste. I don't know if this is gonna be good. I'm thinking, you know, who doesn't like chicken and bacon? I think Leo's here. All right, so here is that chicken wrapped in the bacon, and I do just have 3 drumsticks plain without, and then I'm just gonna season that with a little garlic, salt, and pepper for Rhea. But with these ones, I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna crack some fresh black pepper and some garlic over the top. But I am, just to make sure that thinking like along the lines, if I ever made a potato in the oven, I would always like pop holes through it to make sure that, like, even though it's covered in bacon, to make sure that it's getting baked all the way through. So I'm just gonna go through and just kind of, I don't know if this is necessary or not. You know, you could, I don't know, maybe skip it if you want, but I'm just trying. So yeah, salt, no salt on the bacon, just black pepper and garlic. And then for the plain drumsticks, we're gonna do salt, pepper, and garlic. And throw these in the oven for about 40 minutes or so until they reach the internal temperature of 185 degrees. I want to do a midday check just to see how I'm going, since, you know, adding in the Bulletproof Coffee and all that stuff. So remember, it was 83 glucose this morning and 0.3 for ketones. So let's see how we're going. All right, so this is glucose. I'm feeling a little 78. You know what? I'm feeling a little, like, kind of pukey a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Is that like a word? Like, I don't know if it's I'm adjusting to the higher fat in my diet now or what, but I'm definitely feeling a little pukey. Have you guys felt like that before? Or today's like the first day, so I'm like wondering if that's really like where everything is kind of coming together, you know, where I'm like starting to adjust and get adapted. So here's ketones, let's see. 0.7. Okay, so that's a nice jump from the 0.3 earlier. And you know what? Let's look for our GKI. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on. I'm gonna download this thing. Not today. Not right now because I have everything going on. GKI. Calculator. Keto Mojo. Calculate yours now. All right, so my glucose was 78 and my ketones were 0.7. You can go on their website and put it in right away. Okay, it has like a lot of... All right, so it says your GKI is 6.9. I don't know. Okay. I just want to show you guys. So I put everything in on my phone. So 78 glucose, 0.7 ketone reading. And that says it gives me a 6.9. You see it, 6.9. And on the bottom it says, you are on low level ketosis, ideal for weight loss and health maintenance. So it's a 6 to a 9. So I'm just there. I guess the low, you want your GKI to be as low as possible. So it says 6 to 9, you're in low level ketosis. 3 to 6 is ideal for type 2 diabetics who are insulin resistant, metabolic or endocrine disorders, 1 to 3 is high therapeutic. Those are for those using keto therapeutically for treatment of diseases such as cancer, epilepsy, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, traumatic brain injury, and chronic inflammatory disease. Less than 1, very difficult to achieve without doctor supervision. All right, so I guess it's good. So what did I say mine was? 6.19. So I'm like right there. So 3 to 6. Well, I can go, okay, so let me just show you. So I guess I can go, I don't know, which one should I go with? Should I go to the 6 to 9? You see, it's like 6 to 9 and then 3 to 6. So I'm like right in the middle. So I'm thinking I'm really going where I need to be. Which one would you guys think I am? In the low level ketosis or the moderate? I don't know. Well, anyways, I'm definitely I feel different. Like I said, I feel not so much hungry, I don't think. Like just kind of like, maybe I guess, I don't know, not hungry. Just like I said, a little pukey. Is that a word? It's just, here's me again. Yeah, like not like where I feel sick. I just kind of feel like my mouth's a little dry. I just feel, yeah, a little pukey. And I got a little bit of a headache, for sure. But I don't feel like I can eat or anything like that, like I'm starving. So I'm wondering if this is like a symptom of like becoming fat adapted, like where my metabolism is finally starting to like switch over. What do you guys think? Am I just being crazy? Am I like Dr. Googling it now? I don't know. But all right, what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna take a couple heads of pure cabbage, okay? And we're gonna do coleslaw. We're gonna do my friend Amanda's. She's called the Keto Ginger. She's phenomenal. She's been absent from YouTube. I know she's going through some personal things, but she's a really great resource. She had phenomenal success on keto as well. And she makes a really good coleslaw. I've been doing it for a while, so I kind of like make it my own. But you can look up her channel and get the exact recipe, and I kind of just like toss it here or there. It's basically mayonnaise, apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, a little bit of, I put a little bit of like sweetener in mine, and I top mine with a little bit of mayonnaise. I am going to weigh out the cabbage, and I am going to weigh out the mayonnaise so I can make it in my, my app so I can have the exact macros. I'm definitely thinking that it's my carbs being so low, because I think I've only had 4 carbs today. Like, let's see. I did not put in. I really think it's because I haven't had any significant carbs. So I think that's what it is, like kind of like almost like a keto flu. So here is, I've already put in my stuff for my dinner, except for the coleslaw. I got to add the coleslaw in. But I want to show you the macros here. So you could see carbs are 3.1 right now, and that's not even in. So I've had total of 1,151 calories, 88.6 grams of protein, which is over the 85.0, only by 3. I mean, I'm going to give myself some wiggle room there. 3.1 total carbs and 88.4 grams of fat. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. I'm going to drink some water, and I'm going to start dicing up that coleslaw. I do want to say this also. I do want to say this. I ordered a tripod. It'll be here tomorrow. Sorry if you guys are sick of this. I forgot what I was going to say because I was so just distracted by the tripod. Oh, you could get the coleslaw mix that they sell already at the store and just toss it in. I decided not to do that. For one, it's cheaper to buy the whole heads of cabbage. And for two, the coleslaw mix tends to have carrots and stuff like that in there, and I didn't want all that. I just wanted pure cabbage, so I didn't have any of the additional carbs. So there's that. But all right, I'm gonna cut this up and then. All right, so here is that coleslaw, and I have everything all figured out. So you do use, remember I said you use the apple cider vinegar, the white vinegar, mayonnaise, and put a little bit of sugar in there, the whole earth sweetener. I put 2 packets of this little guy and mayonnaise. And then I actually have everything written out right here. So I have 606 grams or 1 pound, 5.4 ounces of cabbage with 105 grams of mayonnaise. So I will go ahead and input that in there. So, and then I'm going to add everything up and then divide it amongst servings. So we'll have a whole serving size of everything. But nonetheless, this is the cabbage. I'm going to go ahead and toss that into the refrigerator. And there's our chicken still going. We got about 22 minutes left on that, so we are looking good. All right, so the chicken just came out of the oven and I have it temping right now. So let's see, we want it to be 185 internal. So I think we got a little bit longer to go. So I would say let's put it in the oven for probably about another 10 more minutes and we should be good. All right, my friends, look at these. I did end up sprinkling a little bit of rosemary on here to give it a little extra flavor. And then we still have this whole other thing over here. A couple of these are not wrapped in bacon, like I said, for Rhea. So for myself, I'm able to have 2 drumsticks and a serving of the cauliflower. But I wanted to show you something real quick. But let me feed Becky because she's like, you ready to eat it? You ready? Does it look good? You want coleslaw too? She actually loves my coleslaw. Rhea and Becky love it. Sophia and Leo won't eat it. So they have Brussels sprouts for a side. Let me feed this kid and then I'll be right back. All right. So with this particular app, this is the CRONOMETER. I'll leave it the name down below so you guys can check it out. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But if you look under, I made the recipe with the Keto Ginger's coleslaw. And I put everything in and it tells you 1 serving size is 164 grams. I love that. I love that. So total carbs is 8.4. Fat was 15.9 and 2 grams of protein. And I am going to have an extra coffee at the end of the day. So let me go ahead and show you my whole fat here. So today is April 13th, 2021. We are going to have a grand total of 1,429 calories, 90.6 grams of protein. So I did go over by 5, but that's okay. Hold on. Carbs total 11.5, fat 116.3, and that's going to share everything. So that was my weight from the day I weighed in. I didn't even adjust it for today. So yeah, so far so good. And I have everything in here. So I'm going to set up my plate and then I'll be right back. All right, so here, that is a huge portion. That's 164 grams of that coleslaw. And then here are the drumsticks. They look so good. Nice and crispy. Becky, what do you think, Becky? Are they good?
Yeah, they're really good.
She said, yeah, they're really good. So you know if it's kid approved, you know it's where it's at. So this is going to be my dinner. Looks so good. So I had the macros. And I just wanted some more of this because not really hungry, but I just wanted some more because it was really good. So yeah, I'm going to snack on this. So I'll end up having 2 servings of the Keto Ginger's coleslaw. And then when I'm done with this, we'll go through the macros for the day. All right, so here are the final macro breakdown. So a total of 1,608 calories. Protein was 92.6 and our max was 85. So we went slightly over. Carbs, 19.9 total carbs, 20 was our max, so we stayed under. Fat was 132.1 and our max is 170. So we are doing pretty good. Oh geez, what did I hit? Okay. And yeah, so this is what it's called, the CRONOMETER. I don't know. Yeah, so this is going to wrap up my full day. You have all your food on here. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it's looking like. If you guys, if this was helpful and you guys like seeing like the macro breakdown and everything and the ketone readings and all that stuff, just let me know. So I'll continue to do it, or if not, I'll just track and everything and keep it to myself, you know. But yeah, my friends, this is our full day of eating and I will see you on the next one. Bye, friends.